Here, this perp back with another video, and I just peeped out on Twitter that Nickelodeon has decided to revive All That. And my first reaction to this was pretty surprising. Um, and they have Kenan Thompson executive producing this. That is a plus. But what my problem is, and where my problem lies, is the show being brought back. I'll get to that very shortly, but for those that don't know about All That, because a lot of y'all out there might be too young to even know what this show is. This is essentially the kids version of SNL at the time. And for me, I think this was better than, SNL, because this show was so raw to me. Like, going back and looking at it, like, I have some of the older episodes, going back to the original cast of All That, like Kenan, Lori Bet, like, all of them, like all the original cast, going back and watching how raw and like really unfiltered they were back then. Very relatable humor. Doesn't feel forced. Didn't feel like they're trying to beat you over the head with something. They just came up with ideas and had fun with them. And that's why this is so near and dear to me, because this is a lot of the 90s stuff right now that are being resurfaced to modern day. It's very near and dear to me, and All That is definitely a near dear show to me. I grew up loving this show, loving Kenan and Kel, loving all the shows that helped a lot of these young actors' careers. A lot of them are not doing nothing anymore. That's fine. It happens. But All That for me was very special. It was a staple for the 90s, and not just the 90s, just for 90s kids in general. Like, this was what personified like what it was to be a 90s kid. Like, you just watched this show and you're tuning in on Snick, which was just, man, it was just very, very special to me. And it's just, with the humor being so watered down nowadays and everything being so SJW centric, and just people are super sensitive. So it's just like, I don't know how a show like this is going to work. Like, are they going to fill this up with a bunch of SJW, LGBT type of bullshit? Like, I really don't want that, because if that's what Kenan's gonna bring to this show and try to modernize it and make it for today's youth, I think that's going to be a huge misstep. I don't think you should do that. That's what the problem kind of ran into when they got into the newer seasons. When they got rid of the whole original cast, that's when shit just became trash. Everything felt forced. That's why it's just, people fell off of it really quick. Even though it started in what, 90s, 94 or something like that, and went to like 2005 or something like that, somewhere around there. I'm just like guessing off the top of my head. But once we got into those later seasons, that's when it kind of fell off. And that's what I'm kind of worried about with this show returning, because this is something that can really, like, just, I'm calling it right now. This thing is going to probably be a mess. I don't want to think like that, but I'll definitely still give it a chance once I see the first trailer. The first trailer is trash. Best believe I'm going to talk about that. But What do you guys think about them bringing back all that and bringing back a lot of these old '90s shows? I know it's mostly for profit and whatnot, but it's kind of got me worried. But I want to see a first trailer. I'm gonna hold out and wait until they put out a first trailer, which they probably won't put out first trailer for at least a year or two. So we got some time. Until then, I'll check y'all out later. Check out all my recent videos that I just dropped, and I'll check y'all out in the next video. Peace.